Hello, Markee Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to another episode of the Mailbag. So, how long has it been since we did another Mailbag episode? Well, it's been a while. It's been since I started the Eve Challenge. And so the Eve 30-day challenge is just wrapping up. We're just about to start seeing all the videos here on the channel. And it's been a lot of hard work, so it's kept me from making some other videos, but here we are. So I want to talk about something here first, and that is that when you send me a message in YouTube and I do these mailbag episodes, it may very well get read live for the first time on the air. And so with that said, someone sent me a message and they said, you know, I think that you should not be doing that. That it is disrespectful to your viewers that send you messages that they may have it read live on the air. And I thought to myself, okay, well, you know, I can see the truth in that, but at the same time, this is part of what I do for the show and everything, and I could just ask everybody that wants to have their stuff read on the show to include mailbag in the subject, and then that way I would know what what messages were safe to blindly open up in there, but you know, not nearly as fun and exciting. I won't be able to make fun of all of you nearly as much if we are more prepared. So, but the guy does have a point. I mean, it's a very valid point. And you know, so, because I'm looking here, and even if I'm looking here in my thing here, there is one right here that it says TGN Partner Opportunity. It's like they're trying to recruit me for, you know, partnership with TGN. And because I am a free agent here on YouTube, but, you know, so I can see that that's probably a business email. You know, so I can see to avoid that one anyway. So in this video, I would really like it if you would reply with what your opinion is on whether or not I should be reading these blind. And so I'd be interested in your feedback. And so, you know, and so now, as the chat room is saying, I should search through these and open the porn ones first. As if I know what's in them. You know, I got one the other day that was titled Eve Online, and then it didn't have anything to do with Eve. And so I was just like, well, whatever, you know, anyway. It's a good thing that they can't attach pictures in here, unless they're thumbnails of a video that you've already published, but that's probably pretty safe. So let's go ahead and look through these now. If you're looking at this close, you'll notice that I have several that have come in the last few days, and then it skips all the way down to March 6th. That is because I have been going through all of these to the best of my ability, trying to get through all of them, going back to the older ones. Now, here's what I'm doing, and why I want you to send me more messages of things to talk about here, is because I am going through a lot of these for content that we're going to be filming in a couple of weeks. I'm actually going to be out of town. There's not going to be any live shows for about 2 weeks. Oh my. Yes, Markee's going on vacation. And so I'll be filming I'm planning on filming in Washington and Montana. We're going to be in Idaho too, but really I think that we're just driving through on Idaho, so probably won't be too much there. Anyway, so do send me your stuff right here to the YouTube channel, and it'll make it. It'll especially make it if it says mailbag in the subject, but until I decide that, I'm going to read all of them. So, okay, here we go. opening the first one. And, hey, Markee. Markee, what's your thoughts on everyone running around with snipers these days? He's referring to War Z. I've noticed these with loads of streamers now, and they take out a VSS or other snipers, and when they die, they have no care in the world because they have tons and tons of them. Is it just it just takes away the close combat fun, in my opinion, and it makes it unfair to normal players who have a hard time finding snipers. Would love your opinion. Shane from the UK. So Shane, here's my opinion on that. My opinion is that that there's nothing we can do about this. And here's why. Because the streamers, a lot of them solicit being given guns, or they have this huge audience where they have the power to say, hey, I've got these things over here I want to trade. I'm going to trade for these particular types of guns or whatever. And they have a steady supply of them coming in. And they work hard for that supply. And so it's not something that, you know, they have the same chances of finding one in the game as you do, and they are just networking a lot better. And so, does it take some of the fun away of close combat? Sure. But at the same time, it's it's just a side effect, and there will always be a best gun in the game that that no matter who they are, everyone will want it. So that's kind of the way that works. Okay. Thank you for the message there, Shane. And okay, so now I am going to do my my normal thing that I've done before, which is to switch back and forth, just in case it's something really juicy that shouldn't be on the show. Okay, so Van Buren says an RPG game that I am making, and so, let's see, I'm making an old-style RPG using RPG Maker, is that 60? Or is that XV, or VX? ACE, and VX ACE, okay. I wondered if you'd consider doing a video to discuss it and tell me your opinions on the general idea of what I have so far. Well, you know, I have to say, I'm not trying to sound, you know, rude or anything, but I have to say that the amount of time that I have to look at all this stuff, that it's very, 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 very hard for me to go in and look at something. If you think that this is the next internet sensation, that you've got the next game that just has to happen and everything, well then let me know and I'll take a look. But you know, if I get too many that are hyped up that don't have the shit, then I'll probably quit looking at those too. So, good luck to you on making the game, and you know, when the game is released, send me a message, and maybe I can make mention of it somewhere, and get some people to come over and take a look at it, regardless of whether I look at it or not. So, good luck with that. Okay, so now. Looks like, okay. So, EVE Online DDoS attack. And, let's see here. So, they did have a very big attack that just happened. Just a quick question to you. What I see, you have the ability to find some behind-the-scenes info on different games by having access to the developers and such. Okay, so I was wondering if you had any info on the DDoS attack on CCP's network. Example, who did it? General area of origin in the world where the attack was initiated. Was the user data stolen in the attack? I'm sure you can think of a few other things. I do understand how DDoS attacks work. That's an oxymoron statement there. The sentence right before that said exactly the opposite, because you wondered about whether or not data had been stolen, and DDoS attacks have nothing to do with stealing data. And pinpointing the area of origin, I know it would be difficult, but I know it's not impossible. Just any other thoughts and opinions I have about this situation would be interesting to hear as well. Okay, so here's the deal, is that now I actually know nothing about the DDoS attacks except that it happened. And I know the statements that they made, and I understand how DDoS attacks work. And I also know that finding the source for it, pinpointing the source, you're talking about stuff out of the movies. It is nearly impossible to pinpoint the source because of the way they work. So you have your bot network, which consists of computers all over the world that are infected with viruses. Then those bots that are infected with the viruses are told to go look at like an IRC channel. And IRC being a internet relay chat, it's a very old technology on the internet. It doesn't allow you to, I mean, anybody can anonymously connect to it. So this is what's funny, is that, okay, so let's say I'm an attacker. Okay, so I go through to a proxy. And I go through an anonymous proxy and I say, okay, I'm going to make my connection through here. And I'm going to do it like, say, via VPN or something. You know, do a tunnel. And then I'm going to say, okay, from this other anonymous proxy, now that I'm hooked up to that, I'm going to tunnel through onto that to a website that will anonymize my IRC commands. And so I go through to this website, which then connects up to an IRC server, and they do it through some place like Hushmail or Hush.com that doesn't keep any server logs. And then they connect up to the IRC, and then all of these bots happen to be looking for a particular channel and a particular command to be given to say, so he types in, okay, please attack IP such and such, bam, and all the bots start firing up, and they all start attacking. Now, tracing that all back through, because these bots, golly, the likelihood of that is very, very low, that you'd be able to trace anything back. And it would have to be sustained for a very, very long time. And really smart DDoS attackers are actually cycling through, not using the same machines over and over again. And they may only use it for 30 minutes, and then that one releases and it moves on to the next one. And by the time anybody investigating gets access to that particular machine and everything, it's already done. It's gone. And they've rerouted through other methods. So the likelihood of catching them is is so low, just so low, and everything is after the fact. So anyway, now I will surmise that maybe CCP, maybe someone was able to get some externally facing IPs that CCP has for their servers, and they're able to figure out how to directly attack, because there are services out there like Cloudflare and everything, which are very cheap, and they will take a domain name and then they reroute through their systems to filter out any DDoS attacks as long as you hide the IP. And so probably somehow some of those IPs got into the public, or maybe just the way it works, they can't hide those. So anyway, they pulled everything down. I don't know exactly how long the outage was, but it was pretty significant. They pulled everything down and fixed it all, put it back up. Today it appears to be stable, and they've released Odyssey as of today, as of when I'm recording this. And so best new patch. And by the way, now that I'm mentioning it, if you want a 30-day trial, go to markeedragon.com and look in the E category, scroll to the bottom, and you'll find a 30-day trial, 30-day free trial for the game. So, and we also have accounts for $4.99 right now due to the release of Odyssey. Normally they're $20. We have them for $5, and they come with a free ship and all kinds of other stuff. So, how's that for an advertisement tacked onto the end? Okay, so I think that is it for this episode. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We're going to film some more. And if you're on YouTube, sorry, but you're just going to have to wait for the next episode. Take care, everybody.